My billhook pole cracked yesterday, right in the middle. There's a big knot there and it cracked. So I did a patch. I cut out a lot of the wood and then patched it with Ukrainian hemp twine and G-Flex epoxy resin. So here I am just trimming off the excess prior to refinishing. I went a little too deep on that one. Pull cut works better. This is a Spydie Co. Enuff. I'd call that a Lambscliff profile, I guess, because I am a profile pedant, and a Wharncliffe would have one single curve down to the point, whereas you can see that there is a transition here, and a lamb's foot wouldn't have a curve at all. So this Lambscliff with serrated edge. I'm not usually a fan of serrated knives, and I use them rarely, only for maybe cutting bread or sandpaper. But I saw this one, and I also saw the Enuff with the drop point leaf-shaped blade, and I bought them both. And the drop point I gave to a friend, and this one I kept, and I just used it because I figured it would be very good for this task of carving twine epoxy micarta semi-cured. It's got this, how could you put it? Well, you can imagine, you know, it's kind of sticky, semi-soft but semi-resilient quality that using this to cut, I could cut, because of this chisel grind, I could cut it and use almost a sawing motion, or later even almost more like a file, using it almost more like a file. So that worked very well. But at one point, although I was being very careful with my stop points and what have you, I slipped and I caught my finger with, I'm not sure whether the spine or more likely the back of one of these, but it made the most fantastic cut, very superficial, but it lifted up most of this callus that I have on this finger. So that's an explanation of how I did that and what it is, and now what we're going to do about it. So I've come out to the pine where there is some of this stuff, so I can just get some of that on there. Yeah. A little bit more. Actually, it doesn't really need the lighter. It's still very gooey. If it were cold, I would need the lighter, I guess. So we just smush that, kind of smush it in and smush it over. And as you can imagine, it acts like a very sticky glue. Well, it is a very sticky glue, really. And it's antiseptic and analgesic. So that feels good. Already feels, you know, you can feel that the wound is closed, hermetically closed. But of course, now I have this unfortunate sticky wodge. Come here, Smiles Davis. So this is the second part of the treatment now, is that we just rub a dog. Yeah, rub a dog. Be good if he was molting. Might need a bigger dog with more hair. Hey, Burly boy! brow. So yeah, here comes a shaggy one. Oh, come here! No, don't run away. Oh dear. Kind of like a scalpel. I can use this to scrape everything into place. As you can see, the outcome is not pretty. Looks like dog, but it smells like pine. Anyway, we can tidy it up a little bit. Yeah. That melts it a little bit and takes care of the fluffy hairs. And now the wound is sealed, and I'll leave it to you to decide whether that is smart, useful, disgusting, reprehensible, or what. But it works for me.